Kadosh Boker or Masechet Sanhedrin Daf Yomi Daf Chet Amud Aleph 8A1. We just went and we just spoke about a case that the Ushpiz in the Achsanya, the one that Rav was staying by them, they came in front of Rav to Din. And he went and he told them, I don't understand, I'm not I'm your guest, what's going on? So he said, yeah, you're right, but I've got a judgment case. So Elmaleh, so he came and he told them, yeah, but I just became Pasul to judge you. So Elmaleh Rav le Rav Kahana, says Rav to Rav Kahana, Puk Daine, go and you judge them. How did the guys be? So Rav Kahana saw that he was gospel. Rav. Why? Because he was for sure that Kilu that, Elmaleh, he says, Itzaitat, if you're going to listen to my words, good. I'm going to come and take you out to Rav, right, from your ear, right? Which means that he was coming and he was trying to tell him that if you're not going to behave, don't worry, I'm going to take care of you. Right? What does that mean? I'm going to show you that Rav is not going to help you at all, right? Because I'm going to put you into nidui, meaning not because you have protexia by one rabbi. Does it mean that now you're going to come and you're going to win the case? It doesn't work like that. Kagadol tishmaun. Amar Shakish says that a Shakish sheyeh chaviv alecha din shel pruta. What does it mean? Like a small concept with a big concept. He says that it should be chaviv to you a pruta, just like mea. What does that mean? Even if it's going to be a pruta, a coin, or even if it's going to be 100, it's the same thing. What's the nafkamina? If you're going to tell me that he has to look into it, he's going to judge it. Pshit, obviously, ela lagdume, to be magdim. Meaning, if somebody comes and he's coming with a pruta, and then somebody comes with a mea, you still have to come and judge on the pruta and then the mea. Meaning, don't say, listen, I just got a more important case. I have to take care of this case first. I apologize. You got the case first of the pruta, you have to judge the pruta. Afterwards, you have the deen of the mea. Then you come and you could do the deen of the mea. Lo taguru mipnei ish. What does that mean? Which means, don't come and don't be afraid of a person in order to say your dat. Meaning, some people, they come and they're very, very afraid. Don't be afraid. You have to say it. Because the mishpat is to Hashem. Lo dayan lereshaim שנותנים מזה ממון ונותנים מזה כשלא כדין. הם מתחילים אותי להחזיר מהם ממון לבעליו. You remember we said this already. Then what? It's not only enough that they're taking money from one person to another, but then I have to go and I have to give it back to the person. So therefore they're also bothering me. Right? והדבר שיקשה מכם אמר בחנינא ויתאמר רבי יושיע. Some say רבי חנינא, some say רבי יושיע. על דבר זה נענש משה. On this, Moshe Rabbeinu was punished. שנאמר, this is by the בנות צלופחד, ויקרא משה במשפטן לפני השם. Meaning that he wasn't zocher, the parasha nachalot was said in front of him, but he didn't know how to answer. So he was punished because they came to him and they brought him a dvar kasher, and he didn't write, and he knew himself how to answer. That's what it says. But he said, right? Fine. Which means that he had to bring it in front of Hashem just because he said that you're going to bring it to me. That's the famous concept, that the second that you come and you depend upon yourself, so then Hashem shows you, no, I'm the one that's going to do it, because you're not going to know the answer. So matkif la Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak as Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak miktiv, it's written ve'ashmiachem ushmativ ktiv. It's written v'adavar sheyikshem mikem takrimu la ushmat. It doesn't say v'ashmiachem ushmativ, right? What does that mean ushmativ? It's not that for sure I'm going to answer. It says igamina gamina. If I learned it, I learned it, and if not, I'm going to go and I'm going to learn it. Meaning I'm going to Hashem anyway. So he said, but rather it should be like this. Really, be'emet, it should have been written by Moshe Rabbeinu. But they had a special zechut that was written through their hands. Also, should have been written through Moshe Rabbeinu. Right? But the Mekoshesh was going to be chayav, and therefore it was nichtava yado, it was going to be written on his words. To teach you, so you're going to be megalgel chova lidei chayav, and zekut lidei zakai. It's written v'atzavet shofetechem ba'et ha'i lemor. Uchtiv it's written v'atzavet etchem ba'et ha'i. So that means what's happening? Are you going to tell me that the chachamim, right? They're going, is him Moshe to tell them to, they have to teach the tzibur, or is it that the tzibur is warning? So Amar Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Simla, Zalal tzibur shtei mad dayan alehem. It works both ways. You have to warn the tzibur that they have to have the emav, the dayanim on them. You have to tell the dayan, listen, you have to be sovel the tzibur. Meaning at the end of the day, right, even if they're difficult, you have to withhold them. Ad kama, until when? Until how do just like the father comes and he carries the child. So to the dayan is chayav lisbol et ba'alei adin. Ketiv, it's written ki ata tavo. Right, you're going to come to this nation and it's written tavi et bnei Yisrael. What does that mean? Right? Is it going to be that it's mashma that Yeshua will come together with the to the aretz like all one, or is it mashma that sheinhag b'hem srara, right? And he's going to bring them. So he says, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Amar lo Moshe Yeshua, says Moshe Rabbeinu to Yeshua, Atav ezekinim shebedor imecha, you and the zekinim in the door with you, right? Which means taiding et ha'am, right? Don't do it al pi ziknei ador. So Amar lo Kadosh Baruch Hu, says Kadosh Baruch Hu, tol makel vehach al kod kodam. go and hit them on their heads. Right? Dabar echad lador ve'en shne dabarin lador. This is very, very famous. Right? That means basically you always have one captain of a ship. Right? One dabar. You're only going to have one minhag. You're not going to have two manigim. Which means that you cannot have come and say, no, it's going to be a... No. There's only one person in charge. You cannot have 100 people in charge. Tana, we learned in a Mishnah, Zimun bishlosha. My Zimun. What do I mean now, Zimun? Right? Because we said Dinei Mamonot is bishlosha, and the Braita says Zimun is shlosha. What is Zimun? Ilem, if you're going to tell me now Birkat Zimun, Mamash Zimun, Vatani, we already learned Zimun Birkat Zimun shlosha. So we already learned it. Techitem, and if you're going to tell me Pirusha Kamifarish, what is Zimun Birkat Zimun? We already learned Zimun bishlosha, Birkat Zimun bishlosha. So he says, so what is Zimun then? So he says, Elamai Zimun, what is Zimun? Azminu Ladin. When you're going to invite to the judgment, there's a summons. When you're going to summon them to court. Right? There's going to be three dayanim that they're sitting down, and he's coming and he's saying in the voice of one, Nomar Klum, the Shum Davach. Adamar Mishme de Kulhu. He has to say the name of everybody. Right? It has to be mamash in the name of everybody. So Hanemile Belo Yoma Dedina. He says these things are only, right, if it's not going to be a davar which they're going to judge. Right? He says of a Yoma Dedina. If it's going to be the days which are fixed of judgments, so he doesn't have to do. Why? Because they're all kavua. So therefore, it's a kilu. That means he's saying it in front of in the name of everybody. Meaning, when the shliach of bidin is coming and summoning, he's doing it in the name of everybody. Okay, fine. Tashume kefel, the two dots. Right? We're continuing the Mishnah. We said Tashume kefel or Bava Chamisha is going to be with three dayanim. Shalach le Rav Nachman Rav Chasdal Rav Nachman Bar Yaakov. Center Rav Nachman Rav Chasdal Rav Nachman Bar Yaakov. Yilamdenu Rabbenu. Right? Our rabbi should teach us. Dinei knasot bekama. How much is dinei knasot? So says the Gemara, what's the question? And we learned it in Mishnah, Bishusha. We learned Knasot of Bishusha. The question is, Yachid Mumche, can he be Dain Dine Knasot or no? So Elmaleh, he said, Tanito, we also learned it. Tashume Kefel, Tashume Rav Chamisha Bishusha, my Shusha would have been 3. If you're going to tell me Shusha, you taught, right? Your father already said, right? Hayavua Davuch. The father of your father said in the name of Rav. Nobody's allowed to do that, even if you have 10 people there. But rather Mumchin, you need 3 Dayanim Mumchin. The Kamar Shusha, and you said Shusha. What does that mean? That means it's mashma over here that even a yachid is not going to be kasher because you need 3 mumchim. It can't be 3 stam people. It has to be 3 mumchim. Okay, the Chachamim come and say, Motzi Shemra, you need 23. Why do you need 23? So he says, he says, 1 second, what do you care now that you have dinei nefashot? At the end of the day, it should be only 2, only 3. Why 23? Amar Ula v'choshil laz kamipalgeh. No, here the machloket is, do we choshesh for laz or not? Because if right now there's no edim that she was zinta, right? But maybe they could come to Bedin afterwards. And then what? Why? Because edim already heard what happened. And then they're going to come and they're going to testify that she was zinta. And then it's going to come to Dinei Nefashot, which is 23. So Rabbi Meir holds En Choshilaz, we're not going to suspect for this, which means that since right now the husband doesn't bring any edim, so therefore it's only on the ketubah, so it's enough for 3 edim, 3 dayanim, sorry. And Rabbanan hold Choshilaz. We do suspect for laz, and therefore because once everyone finds out that this is what happened, they're going to come and they're going to start testifying. Rava comes and he answers, no, we don't suspect for laz. But here the machloket is, do we suspect of the kavod of the first ones? What are we dealing with? There were 23 that came in for dinei nefashot, and then they went, and then they said, come and judge me of dinei mamonot. Right? So therefore, are we going to be choshesh for the kavod of the first ones or not? Right? So he says, because since they started with 23, so do we say that they have to continue with the 23 or not? So according to Rabbi Meir, we're not going to choshesh, and according to the other shita, we do. Right, Chachamim. Chet Amubet, 8b. So Meitvei, so we're going to ask the following question. Everyone understood that means basically what happened was that you had 23 Dainim that are judging Dinei Nefashot, and then they went on a coffee break, and then all of a sudden they come and say, can you judge me Dinei Mamonot? And now there's 3. So do we have to wait for the 23 to come back and then, to adjourn? And then we do the Dinei Mamonot because of their kavod, or do we just continue? So Meitvei, so we're going to ask the following question on Chet Amubet B. Chachamim come and they say Tevo Mamon B'Shulsha, Tevo Nefashot B'Shulsha, that if you're going to ask for money, it's going, meaning if they're going to be judging on money, it's 3 dayanim, and if they're going to be doing Nefashot 23, Bishma Rava, I understand Rava, Tevo Mamon Tchila, first they asked for the money, meaning they were judging on money, and then B'Shulsha, and then they did, right, and then they did the other one. But if you're going to tell me Tevo Nefashot Tchila, so Afilu Mamon B'Shulsha, right? If you're going to tell me that it's because we're suspecting of the kavod of the Rishonim, so if they came and they first judge on Dinei Nefashot, they had 23. And now you have to do 23 also for the Mamon, because of the kavod of the Rishonim. So he says, Ela really be'emet le'ula kasha. This is a question against Ula, because Ula said that we are going to be choshesh velaz, but only just of the kavod of the Rishonim. So Rava says, Ani va'ari shebechabura. I and the Ari, the gadol of the chabura, targimna woman. Who is that? Rav Chia Baravi. Hacham ma'iskin, and they come and they say, what are we dealing with? She'evia ba'al edim shezinta. The husband brought edim that she had relations, that she cheated on him. Ve'evia avedim v'zimum le'edei abal. And then the father came and he brought edim to make those ones edim zomim. So balig when he comes and now he's going to come and collect the money from the husband, bishosha. That's enough 3. Uvimkom nefashot, but if it's going to be on dinner nefashot, or we're going to come that it could be through dinner nefashot, so then it's going to be be'esrim v'shlosha. Then it's going to be 23. Because again, remember, we kill her if she did such a thing. Okay, so Abaye comes and he says, really be'emet, we do suspect for the laws of the Rishonim. My skin, what are we dealing with? For example, the atru bastam. That what happened is that they came and they gave her a stam hatra'ah. Okay, now they didn't say that it was going to be sekila. Remember that an arame orasa, when a woman that she's engaged, she commits adultery. What does she get? Sekila. Okay, this is kinya Masechta. She gets sekila. Now what happens is they came and they said you're going to get killed, but they didn't give her a warning for what. Usually, whenever you give a warning, you have to give the warning of what's the punishment. Here, they just said you're going to get killed, but they didn't say which death. The high Tana, who in this Tana is hold the Tanya, was we learned in a Braita. Right? All the other chayvei mitot in the Torah, they're only going to kill them be'edah. What does that mean? With a bedin of 23. Ve'edim with edim, ve'atra'ah with witnesses and atra'ah and warning. Ve'ad shiodiu shuchaya mita be'vedin, and he has to come and they have to tell them, right, that you're going to be chayav mita and bedin, but you don't have to explain which mita. Rabbi Yehuda argues and he says no. Ad shiodiu be'ezem mita uneran. He will only be killed if you actually have to tell him what is the punishment. And you have to tell him not only that you're going to get killed, you're going to get killed with this punishment, with this death. That's what you have to say. What? Rav Papa Amar. Rav Papa comes and he says, Vehacha, over here in our Mishnah, we're talking about an Isha Havera Skinan. We're talking about a woman that she's a Tamida Chachama, meaning she's smart. Again, there's a machlok between Rav Lukta, Rav Yosef, Rav Yehuda, and Rabbanan. The time was learned to write that Rav Yehuda Omer, Chaver, eno tzarich hatra'ah. He says you don't have to give warning at all. Why? Because the entire concept of the warning is only to differentiate between a shogeg and a mezid. If they're a chaver, they already know what's going on, meaning that they're not foolish. They know exactly what they're doing. They know that they get killed. So you don't have to give the real. So according to this, that's what he's saying over here. So therefore, he comes and he says, right, the entire reason is that way the avarian cannot say, I didn't know. There's that. So they have to tell him, no, there's a death penalty and there's this, that. But a chaver, he knows that it's a sur, and therefore for sure he's going to be mezid. So for chachamim, what? No. Chaver just means a tamid chacham. It's called a chaver, right? So he says chachamim. They argue on Rabbi Yosef and they hold on that even a chaver also needs he needs atra'ah, and that is a shita of Rabbi Meir as well. So for again, it's going to become a machloket, and the Gemara is going to explain what is a machloket. Okay, and therefore he comes and he says that is going to be the machloket between them. Do they actually need a warning or not?